Okay guys, I think I finally got this thing to work. So first of all, just sound check, and tell me if you can hear me. Okay, let's get going. Let's not waste any more time. Hey, right. Hello everyone. Oh, hang on a sec. I'm the wrong size here, so let me just try and change this. I think I'm accidentally going out broadcasting at 1920 by 1080, which seems to cause issues. So if I'm stuttering a little bit, tell me. Hopefully it's not too bad. So Warrior 269. Yeah, let's give you a go as Rebecca isn't here actually as a moderator, so let's add you as a moderator. So there you go. You have got powers, but use them wisely, a bit like Spider-Man. You cannot go about just banning everyone. Be careful. But obviously, if someone's swearing and just being a nuisance, then obviously go ahead and block them and give them a chance to sort of correct their ways. And if they don't, then yes, you can ban them. So yeah, just the rules. Don't use loads of caps just to get my attention. Put at Bubblegummonster, and I'll try to answer. The problem is Stuart's not here today. He's on holiday. I'm on holiday from Monday, so the whole of next week neither of us are here. We'll try and get some content out just by scheduling it, but I can't guarantee anything because I'm just so busy trying to get everything done. Hey DJ KSG, how you doing? Shout out Leo Smith, there you go. And who else? Hey Bendy, hey everything, and Bonnie Vlogs, who's a regular. So today I thought, instead of doing our normal Bubblegummonster, which is what obviously we normally do on a Friday at this time, it's kind of a monster, but it's Nightmare Freddy. And the reason why I suddenly thought about this, and I thought, well, kill two birds with one stone here. Because, as a lot of you know, we're making the sequel or prequel to the original film, I thought, well, I need to make the Nightmare characters. And so there are some online that you can get, but I don't like using them just because they're not ideal for animation, and we like to put our own little touch on what we're doing as well, rather than just using everyone else's. Thanks, Leo Smith. That's very kind of you saying that we're the best. So I thought we'd make our own, but we already have a Freddy from the original film, so rather than going ahead and building a whole new model, I thought what I'd do is I'd just go in and start tatting him up, because obviously Nightmare Freddy, the main difference being between Freddy and Nightmare Freddy is he's all mashed up and he's got big teeth in his belly, and he's just a bit more sort of scary looking. So I'm not going to complete it today because I want to get it completely right. Whereas with the Bubblegummonsters are more like sketches more than anything else. It will just be kind of me just showing you how I would. I mean, I know a lot of you, if any of you, don't really use ZBrush or ZBrush, but if you ever do purchase it, then at least you can reference back to these sort of videos and get an idea of certain techniques. Is there going to be another one for sure? Says Bendy. Well, yes, that's the plan. I mean, we're already investing a bit of time in it. We've already made the Golden Freddy head, and so we will be spending time now creating the characters, but it all takes a long time, whereas when we made the original movie I had some time off from work, so I had like literally a few months just to do stuff. Now I'm working full time during the day, not on YouTube, because it doesn't earn enough money, so I haven't had the time to get to invest enough time in it. So by doing these Friday things, I thought, well, like I say, let's kill two birds with one stone and let's start making the movie together, kind of thing. So let's start making the characters for it. The Dharma Sheep. If I say I'm back, it means my laptop goes in sleep mode or shuts down. Okay, that's cool, Dharma Sheep. Peter, did you see my idea for prop luck? No, I didn't, Warrior 269. Did you title it prop luck? The thing is, we need to sort of know. Yeah, it's really difficult with emails because they come through so much. It's really difficult. So I'll keep an eye out that for prop luck. In fact, let me just do it now, just because I know I'll forget otherwise. So did you call it prop luck as a title? Warrior, the Redstoner. I've got your gallery. Got gallery. Yes, I don't think I've got that. No. Send it again. Okay. So no, sorry, Warrior, I didn't see that. Right, so let's just get going with this because I've got just over an hour, and so I'm just going to sort of show you how I would do this. I don't know how it's going to turn out, and like I usually do, I usually spend a bit of time going in and tidying stuff up afterwards. So this was actually the Freddy from the movie. Oh, hang on, what's going on? Let me get my Wacom tablet. Oh, the reason why I was late, other than the technical problems, was I went to the hairdressers at like about, I think it was 4:30, so I had an hour, and it doesn't take long to do my hair usually. It only takes 20 minutes or something. And this guy was just so slow. I just couldn't, like, literally everything. He'd pick up the scissors and then spend about 10 minutes to pick up scissors, and then it just went on for like an hour for my hair. So I was just like, and I couldn't do anything. I was just like, well, I can't get to the stream. So I literally rushed back and got here at 5:30. So that's why I was late, and then the technical difficulties as well. So let's start with his head. And so there you go. There is his the main bit. Now I don't know if you guys have been watching, but I've also been doing the mask, which is actually based directly off of this model. The difference being that it's an actual real model made out of paper. So you take this 3D model and you then convert it using this package called Peppercura that then flattens it all out basically, and then you fold it all up and make it as a 3D model in real life. Leo Smith, I want to be in the Bubblegum gallery. Yes, you can be. Have you set anything into the gallery? If you have, then just title it gallery and put that in. So what was I going to say? So yeah, I'm not going to be able to answer any of your questions. So Warrior or anyone else that's regular to our channel, if you can help anyone else that is new to this channel with any of the questions you know, then that would be cool. Game Dog YouTube app. Yes, I don't know if you're referring to the fact of being able to change stuff on the YouTube app when you're out and about, but you can't with live streams. For some reason I couldn't sort of postpone it or anything. I couldn't see how you could do that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not really going to be able to chat to you guys because usually Stuart's here and he's the one that's sorting out the chat. So you're going to have to chat amongst yourselves, and I will just try to sort of like talk through what I'm doing. In fact, the other thing I'm going to do quickly as well is bring up some reference, because it's always good to have some reference. So the one in the thumbnail that I've used is actually not the official one. I think that's kind of someone's piece of art. So we could use that. It's always good to have a different variety of bits of artwork. But let's just get up the official one. And the trouble is the official one is just in the game, so it's sort of just jumps up, doesn't he? Just jump scare stuff. But he has, from the looks of it, he's got like 2 rips, from what I can tell, above his eyes, and then his mouth's all sort of tattered. I'm not like making a direct copy of it. I'm not too concerned about making it exactly the same as the game, because at the end of the day, this is our version of it. I know a lot of people go, "No, that's not Freddy. Freddy looks different," but this isn't an actual direct copy of Freddy. It's our interpretation of Freddy. And then what I am going to do, which I didn't like so much in the original, was his head. I think was a bit longer. So I'm just going to literally go in here and stretch his head out a bit more. So let's do that. Might as well make him a bit different to the original. Let's see. So like I said, I'm not going to be able to finish him because there's a lot to Freddy. There's all his body and obviously his limbs and feet and all of that. But I will just try to, let's just work on his head for now. So let's stretch him up a bit. So I think he's got he's just got a longer head really. And I think actually the top part is kind of longer as well. Rather than, I had him more of a sort of, not friendly, but more of a sort of rounded look than the original. In other news, I've finished, I've now finished the Twisted ones, which was okay. I didn't like it as much as the original, the Silver Eyes. I thought Silver Eyes was a better book. I know some of you guys have been reading the books as well. Let me get your comments up again, so I've lost you all. Where are you? I was looking at the thumbnails and now I've lost where you guys are. There you are. So, hey TDR, how you doing? So yeah, I've just been reading those books to get sort of brushed up on everything I can with the Freddy stuff, just in case there's anything we missed in the script that we could add in. Can you show us the references? But yeah, so actually, well, I haven't got much. All I've got, I'll show you. Let me just save it. In fact, I'm just using it from the net here, so let me just save it onto a desktop. Save image. Phone's ringing. I'll have to wait. Freddy. Let's call him Freddy. I'll just add him. Hang on a sec. Bear with me while I add him to here. I'll put him in here. Right, desktop Freddy. I don't even know if this is an official one, but he looks kind of like the one that I've seen in the game. So, and there's enough kind of to go by. So here we go. This is how do we do it again? I think we do that. So this is the one I'm using. Can you guys see that? I think you can. Just to get an idea of where all the tears are in his head. Well, I keep losing you guys. I've got so many windows open here. Where are you? Oh, there you all are. Sorry, I keep losing all the comments. Unsighted rat. My friend's sister got my friend's finger stuck in a zap trap. Then Lucille got it off. Then she said she will kill herself. Wow, your friend sounds mean. Unsighted rat. So, Warrior, the Freddy file is coming out. You should get it because if you have all your... Yeah, is that all right? I thought it was already out because it's at the back of the Twisted Ones book. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a third book there. But that's not the follow-on to the Twisted Ones, is it? That's just a... Is that just a kind of thing about Fred? Well, maybe it is a follow-on. So maybe I will get that. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with the Twisted Ones. I didn't think it was that good. I just... That... What's her name? Charlie. What's her nickname in it? It's just got on my nerves. Some of the decisions she was making, it was just like, why are you doing all that? I'm not going to give anything away because I know a lot of people haven't watched it. But it was read it, sorry. But it was just felt a little bit like really bad decisions that these characters were doing. They just started to get on my nerves a little bit. But anyway, that is just my opinion. I know some people really enjoyed the book, so each to their own. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding in... So there's this... I haven't used it for ages, so excuse me if it doesn't work very well. But there's this tool that you can use here where you can kind of... There's different ways of doing it, but I'm going to try one way, which is you literally can just build in shapes that you can then use to sort of... Imagine you cutting these shapes out, so this box I'm putting in above his eye here is actually going to cut out a shape out of his head, and it's just a good way of sort of getting a starting point for it should work for where I want a kind of gash in his head. So now I've got that, I should be able to start moving it all around. And the good thing about Nightmare Freddy is he is just quite a sort of tatty old thing, you know, so you can get away with a lot kind of with the whole kind of look. Well, it doesn't matter too much if it's not smooth. You can just kind of tatty him all up, and I think it kind of looks like above his eye, it kind of looks like he's got like he's been like slashed by another character or something, and which I mean I'm not going to give away too much on the Twitch ones, but if you've read it then that does kind of happen in the Twitch ones, but anyway, it might not be, it might just be because he's just tatty, I'm not sure. So we're just gonna try and sort of get a look like he's being bashed about. And the good thing about this is it's so flexible, you can keep changing it on the fly. And that's the funny thing actually, is from going from making the mask, which is obviously real, to then the CG stuff, you get there's benefits to doing both. With the real stuff, you've just got it there forever, kind of thing, and then it never crashes. Like the computer never like the computer crashes all the time. But if you're doing stuff in real life, it will never suddenly just disappear. And that's the most irritating thing I find on a computer, is when you've been working on something and you've forgotten to save after an hour or so, and then suddenly it crashes and you just lose all of your work. And of course that just doesn't happen in real life. But then the advantage to doing stuff in the computer is the things like the fact that you can duplicate stuff really easily. So for example, when I was making the mask, it was I'd have to make 2 of everything. So when I went to make the ear, it's almost like, because I'm so used to working on a computer, I almost went, oh, I just need to press like copy. But it's like, no, I can't do that. I actually have to make another ear, and it's going to take forever. So that's the disadvantage to doing stuff in real life. And then also the other disadvantage to doing stuff in real life is when it cocks up, as it does sometimes, you then have to start again. Whereas with the computer, in this case, I can just keep changing stuff, and if I've saved it enough times, I can just go back to a saved version. So there is definitely advantages and disadvantages to each way of doing things. But I hope you can kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here in terms of just literally, I mean, this is how 3D generally works. You just start with something really simple shape, and as I know a lot of you guys have watched before, I usually start with a box or a sphere, and I just start pulling and pushing things out from there. And you'll find that nearly all types of 3D art, that is how you start. So here it's going to be just a case of keep creating sort of box shapes to create the indents that I need, and then just pushing and pulling them around until I'm happy with a sort of shape that kind of looks like a nasty sort of dent or scratch through his face. Oh my god, this is annoying. It says Bonnie Vlogs. I hope you're not referring to my voice. Maybe you are, I don't know. What is annoying? What's annoying you, Bonnie? Okay, so there we go. There's the first kind of smashed up part of his head. Your FNAF Freddy is blocking us. What does that mean? Okay, let's have a look. Hang on. What are you guys talking about? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, that is so my fault. Yeah, see, now if Stuart was here, he would have totally been on that. Sorry, guys. Let me just transition. Sorry. Oh, that was really bad of me. I really apologise. Massive apologies for that. Yeah, I changed it to the reference and then forgot to change it back. So sorry, guys. It's all right. I haven't done much. So let me show you what I've been doing. Really sorry about that. Okay, so I've just been making this. I tell you what. The good thing, again, look, so you could hear me. Good thing about computers is I can do this now. Look. Right, so I've gone back in time. So what I was doing, I was stretching his head. I don't know if you saw that bit, and then I added this box. I hope. I don't know how long I was talking. It's probably about 10 minutes. Everyone's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I added this box, which then cut into his head, which then allowed me to start stretching it about and adding in all the little details that I wanted. So, like I was just saying in the voiceover that you had, was I was adding in sort of a simple shape, which was this box shape, like that, and then I was pulling it all about until I got to the shape that I wanted. So I was masking bits out, I was pulling and pulling in, sort of shaping it out until I had something that I was happy with. So here I've just added a mask so that when I'm pulling this stuff on the left hand side, it's not affecting the right hand side, so that dark area is not, I can't affect that while that's on, and then I've taken that off and then just adjusting it, and that's it. That's up to date now. I hope that's helped. I hope everyone's forgiven me. I'm really sorry. Okay, TDO, badge really goes in the dark. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I kind of broke the pin part a bit because I had to bend it back for it to work. Well, I hope you can still wear it. But anyway, yeah. So sorry, right? So everyone can see that now, right? Good. That's why I need Stuart here, because on my own I'm just trying to multitask. Anyway, let's continue. So that was the first part. I'm not going to even show you the reference again because I know I'll just forget and I'll be on the reference and I'll be like, oh, I'm just looking at Freddy head. Okay, so let's now add another tear in his head. So you can actually add stuff and take it away. So if I wanted to, I could actually just add a box, but I want to take it away. So you have to hold down on. I'm using a Mac, so you have to hold down Alt. Yes, Alt. And the good thing is, once you've put it in there, you can actually then, if you're not happy with just being a sort of box shape, I think, like I said, I haven't used this for a while, but you can start squidging it around and changing the shape of it to what you kind of want before you then take it into a negative shape. So let's just, I think you might be able to actually just move it like that as well, yeah. Okay, because this gash that he's got on this side of his eye is slightly smaller than the main one above his eye. So there we go. I think that will cut deep enough. So it doesn't look like anything at the moment, but so when I go like this, what do I do again? Like that, it doesn't do anything. No, that should do something. There you go. And like the one I did just previously, which you guys never got to see, what I was doing, well, I did hopefully sort of explain it afterwards, but it was just moving. So it's a simple box shape, but by then moving bits around like this, you can start getting the shape you want. And like I said earlier, I'm not too concerned about it being exactly the same. It's not a replica. It's not about being an exact replica of the original. It's just our interpretation. I think that's one of the things with art. When I started art, when I used to sort of be at school doing art, I was so concerned with making stuff look exactly like whatever I was sort of copying, whatever piece of artwork or comic I was copying. And I think that's a really good practice to do, is to really sort of study what your reference is and try and get stuff to look exactly the same. But I think when you get to a certain point and you've mastered that, then don't be afraid to just go off piece kind of thing. Just do your own stuff, and you'll just find that you'll find your own style. Whereas if you're always just copying stuff exactly, you're never gonna be able to create your own stuff. So here we go. We're just kind of making it look like he's properly been bashed up. So what will happen is I will go through the whole body like this, just going through it limb by limb, because each limb on it is different. It's got different sort of holes and damaged parts in it. And then when I've finished that, there's a process where you have to simplify the model, because the problem with computers is although they're getting more and more powerful, they still can't move millions of polygons around in real time. And these are polygons. These little, I don't know if you can sort of see, but these little squares here around, like for example here, each one of them is called a polygon. If I go like that, you'll be able to see each one. So at the moment, this is actually quite low polygon. There's not that many, even though it seems like there's hundreds of thousands. In fact, at the top here it says 48,000. So there's a lot. But in terms of when you want real detail, you can go into millions. But when you're trying to animate, you just can't animate that amount. The computer can't move them around fast enough, which is why if you look at computer games, even though they're getting better and better, they're still relatively low in quality compared to a really high detailed film. And because what happens is you have to animate on a low polygon version, so less of those squares, so that you can sort of kind of get a better idea of how your character's going to move, because you want as quick feedback as you can possibly get, and that's where having it as real time as possible is really handy. But then when it comes to actually adding all of the sort of details and all the colour and all of the nicety that makes something look real, the computer can take over and then renders each frame, and it can take hours just for each frame. But when you're animating, you want it almost like real time, like a game. So I'm just checking the comments as well, because I'm just paranoid now that you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing, but I think we're all still good. So cool. Okay, I'm going to carry on. So yeah, go back to the kind of real time stuff. That's why with games they're a lot lower quality than films. I know a lot of you guys are very technical minded anyway. You probably all know this, but I know a lot of people don't. So I'll just chat. Whatever comes out. If people know it, they know it. If they don't, they don't. there's a thing called normal maps as well. I don't know if you guys know anything about 3D, but there's a thing called normal maps, and that's a big thing in games nowadays, because in the old days with games, you literally had just your polygons and your textures, which then was what made something. For example, if you were making a house, you'd apply a brick texture and it'd make it look like bricks. But you'd only have your actual shape of your polygons, the squares, that would dictate what something actually looked like. Whereas nowadays with computer games, since about 2004, there's a thing called normal maps, whereby you can do all this in like this package here, ZBrush, and add all the really fine details. So for example, with the brick wall effect, you can add all of the little cracks in the wall and everything, and then you then create a texture of that, but it's a special texture which is kind of like a bluey, greeny, red look to it, and that tells the computer to sort of give the illusion of all these nooks and crannies, and so you apply that to then your brick texture, and suddenly it looks like it's got a lot more detail, even though it hasn't. And so that's when you watch games, you can see sometimes they got all that bump like armor and stuff, like on Gears of War and things like that. And that the actual base model will be quite simple when you take all the texture and the normal maps off. But the normal maps add all of the sort of creases, anything that isn't a really severe shape, anything that's a kind of subtle dent or a rivet or something that you can get away with, that you're not going to move around too much. You can get away with just these normal maps. Anyway, I am waffling now. Let's go back to the reference and see what else I need to do here. I've lost where my reference is. Where's my reference? Okay, it's there. Right, so he has got another massive sort of dent or sort of scrape, scratch, gash thing out of the side of his head on this side. So again, I'm just going to keep it simple, start simple, and start with a big old cube there. It's probably a little bit big actually, to be honest, so let's scale that down to about there. Yep, that's cool. Move it in a bit more. Let's have a look. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Let's go with that. There we go. So just like before, start moving around. So a lot with 3D models is quite repetitive, really. I mean, there is, once you've got a technique, you can apply it to a lot of the things you're doing. And so for these kind of like big dents in old Freddy's head, it's kind of the perfect way of doing it. So that one goes right up to his top of his head. So like I said earlier, this is going to actually be used in the film along with the others we're going to make, and I thought, yeah, it'd just be fun to kind of try and keep you guys in the loop of what we're doing. I mean, we don't want to give away the plot and things like that, because that's kind of part of the fun. You don't want to, it's like reading the end of the last page of a book. You don't want to do that, but it's good to sort of just show you some of the behind the scenes stuff in kind of real time, because like I say, I'm going to be using this in the film. So this is a kind of making of, but before the film's made. I'm sorry if you guys have got questions and stuff about the film. I can't really answer them because, like I say, I'm concentrating on getting this done. But what I'll do is what we have done before when I've been working on my own and Stuart hasn't been available. I do stop ever so often and just check to see how you guys are getting on. But yeah, obviously feel free to chat amongst yourselves as well. The thing I like about making a Bubblegummonsters is that I remember saying this to Stuart, as much as it is about the model, and I try to sort of help you guys as much as I can with stuff that I've learned along the way through the years of art and just sculpting and using a computer. But more than that, I just like the community, and I like the fact that people join me in doing this, and I think it's kind of more similar to a campfire, where you've got this sort of centre thing that everyone's sort of looking at, which in this case is Freddy's head. But like the campfire, everyone sort of sits around the campfire and just chats, and that's what I kind of like. I like doing this because it is kind of a nice sort of relaxing, therapeutic way of especially on a Friday, and you've had a hard week, just sit and chat and talk about your worries and any issues you have, and hopefully friends can help. Yeah, so I kind of like that. Maybe it needs to be a little bit more jagged, maybe a little bit more sort of sharper edged. Like you wouldn't want to sort of like rub your finger against that because you'd be frightened to cut your finger. But I'm looking forward to that book though. They what was it, Freddy Files or something I think it was called, wasn't it? Was that Bonnie Vlog said that? I'm looking forward to that because that might help unravel some more of the mysteries. But to be fair, I think what we've come up with the script actually it's really funny actually. When I was watching, I keep saying watching, when I was reading the first one, the Silver Eyes, it was actually really surprising how much in that book was like our film. Like there was bits near the end I was just like, that's pretty much like the film we did, and we hadn't read the book at all. I didn't even know what Five Nights at Freddy's was when obviously when I did the film I had sort of watched played the first game, but yeah, I didn't know anything about the books, so it was really surprising to sort of like read these books because there's bits where they're hiding under the tables, and then like I think it's Bonnie lifts up the table and stuff like that, and it's like exactly like the film. It's like that Scott Cawthon copied us. I can't believe he's copied all of our ideas. Right, so I'm going to add another big I keep saying gash. I don't like that word. I can't think of a better word. But anyway, there you go. So he's got a massive one in the side of his head, which I'm going to try and sort of manipulate into the position where I want it. What I'll do is I'll do this one quickly, and then well, in fact, let's just make the hole, and then I'll just take a quick Q&A to see what you guys are up to. What are you chatting about? Are you all still there? I don't even know. Okay, let's have a quick look what everyone's doing. Warrior, yes, yeah, it was Warrior. Told me about the Freddy Files. Yeah, so I will 29th of August, you say. Wait, did the Freddy Files come out yet? Apparently not, Dead Tracks. It asked Warrior, but I think he said the 29th of August. So not long. I'll be on holiday though. I wonder if they do him in Madeira. That's where I'm going. I said it first because the twisted ones. Okay, so everyone's still happy chatting. That's good. I haven't missed anything vital, have I? I don't think so. Hey, it is MW Studio. What does the MW stand for? Can you do Sonic or Demon Bendy or Boyce or Baby from Sister Location? Yeah, they're all good suggestions. I was thinking of doing Sonic. The first one that we will do after we've done these characters though will be Ultraman, because I know Fernando wants to do that and he has been asking for like ages. The Rifle Junior Brody. Yes, I think, didn't you watch that the other day? Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. Unless you mean another one after the one we're doing now, in which case I don't know. It may be another game-based film. For example, it may be Bendy or Tattletale or one of the other popular ones. FNAF 6 is not cancelled, says Bonnie Vlogs. Oh, it's not? I thought it... Well, I thought he just... Well, I don't think it was cancelled. I just thought he postponed it. Can you make a FNAF 2 movie? Yeah, KB Killer. Maybe in the future. The thing with FNAF 2 is it's so similar to FNAF 1, really. There's not much difference. It didn't seem to add much to the story, apart from some of the mini-games. But there are bits from the mini-games of those... Although FNAF 2 is... No, yeah, FNAF 2... Hang on, when's FNAF... FNAF 2 set in 1987, isn't it? So the stuff we're doing is actually before then. And I can't remember, I get so confused with all the different minigames, but I can't remember if there's any minigames there that have a history of from 1983. Anyway, we may do it, but based on the game, probably not, because the actual game is so similar to the original FNAF 1. But anyway, so I'm going to carry on with what I was doing, which was the side of his head, wasn't it? If I can find it, where I was, there it is. Yeah, so just a big tear in the side of his head, which goes like this. And and I think I've said this already, but the good thing is it doesn't really matter if you don't have to be too concerned about making everything look really accurate, because obviously it's all just where he's been bashed about, so you're kind of creating natural dents and bumps just by bending this stuff around, so it kind of looks kind of natural anyway. Let's see if we can just make it a little bit more jagged. I don't know if how many of you guys follow Bill's channel, but I think I did say it in the last vlog we did, was it? But we have another video with Bill coming out, I think on the 25th of this month, so 4 days before the new Freddy book thingy comes out. It'd be interesting to know if that Freddy book is to do with, like, is the follow-up to the Twisted ones. I can't believe it is, because didn't the Twisted ones only come out like a month ago? I imagine, isn't it more like a sort of facts of the Freddys rather than an actual story? But I don't know. I only happened to see it in the Twisted ones at the back. I was like, oh, what's that? Right, let's have a look. What I might do actually with him is his muzzle is separate in this file, and because of the way all of the gashes and stuff on him kind of cut across his muzzle as well, I might add that back in so it's all one file, so I can sort of like basically manipulate both bits at the same time rather than trying to do that separately. Let's just tidy that up a little bit. It kind of looks like it's been torn apart, right? Yeah, so let's add his muzzle in. In fact, one thing I still see, this is where I just totally, no matter how many years I've been doing 3D, I always forget to save. I think the problem is you get so into something that you then, you just, well, it's just like anything, when you start really enjoying something, you forget how time flies, sort of thing. So this is Nightmare Freddy. So sorry, you probably can't see, I'm just saving it, which is why it's not moving at the moment. Hopefully that will save. It's taking ages. It's because I've got these solid state drives that I usually use, but I'm just saving it on the normal hard drive, which is surprisingly slow compared to the solid state ones. Right, so it's Nightmare Freddy. Nightmare Freddy. Okay. Right, yeah, so if I find where I think it's there, move that up, merge them down. So all I'm doing here is I'm merging the muzzle with his face, so they become one. Here we go. And now I should be able to go in and combine that. Yep. So he's got another sort of massive sort of hole in his head here in this area, so I'm going to do that again and just grab that and stick that there. Yeah, that's cool. Make it bigger. Down on that. Maybe rotate it a bit. Okay. There we go. And same again, we just have to move it about and create that kind of look of he's been properly battered by something. I want to know. I'd love to know what people's theories are on the Nightmare Freddy, because there are a lot of different sort of theories of, are they real? Are they? I mean, I'm assuming they are just the nightmares of the little boy. And I guess from where, well, if we go by the mini games, the injuries that he's sustained from when he was in the pizzeria, so that's the other thing, we don't know if he's the same boy that got his head caught. It's definitely not the bite of 87. This is where it all gets a bit interesting, because the bite of 87 isn't the same as the mini games where the kid gets his head caught in the Golden Freddy's mouth. That's in theory in 83, so we have to assume that the boy is from 83. That's in the bed in FNAF 4, though that's not certain. You know, everyone's got their own theories, but it'd be interesting to know what people think the Nightmare characters are. Like, are they meant to be real, or are they literally just figments of his imagination? Are they like the twisted ones, whereby they've got discs in them which kind of give the illusion of what they look like? But then that, well, actually that could kind of fit, because actually I won't give a book away, but there are certain sort of theories on how you perceive what they look like, depending on what your experiences have been with the characters. So if you've had a nice friendly time at Fazbear's, then you'll tend to see them as nice cuddly looking characters. But if you've had a bit of a hard time with them, like Mike Smith probably would have done, you'd see them with these special disc powers they've got. You'd see them as these terrifying creatures. Which, to be fair, I think just a giant bear coming at you is scary enough. I don't think it really needs all the teeth. And in some ways, I think the original Freddy is scarier than the Nightmare Freddy. It's almost like Nightmare Freddy is almost a bit too over the top. What do you guys think? Let's maybe make this a little bit more tatty at the front here. Yeah, he's definitely looking more battered up, isn't he? He's definitely looking like he's been run over by a truck. And let's hollow him out a little bit more as well. Because the other thing that Nightmare Freddy's got is a load of sort of inner mechanical parts, hasn't he, with his mouth. He's got like dual teeth. Got one set, it's a bit like aliens, so he's one set of teeth, and then he opens his mouth and another set of teeth in there. So we will be adding all that as well. But really, for now, in this particular video, all we're doing is trying to get a rough kind of version of him with all of the dents and everything on the outside, and then we can concentrate on the inside parts later on. Just seem to have so much going on at the moment. So I'm doing this, I'm doing the Golden Freddy head, which is nearly done. It's good, I do enjoy it, but hopefully it gives you an idea as well of how long this stuff takes, and you can kind of get an idea of why the original movie took 6 months to make. Because there were the 4 characters in there as well, so even as you can imagine, sculpting all that, each one of them took time. Okay, so let's now make this part here. Oh, actually, hang on a sec. I've got a load of kids coming up, so I'm hoping they're not going to come in here, so just bear with me one second. I will switch it back over from that screen. I will remember, hang on a sec. Sorry about that, guys. Right, where were we? What was I talking about? In fact, let me check the comments. Let me check you all there. Still, hopefully. Where are you? I keep losing where all the chat is. Part of the endoskeleton. Warrior 269. Nightmare Freddy's second set of teeth are part of the endoskeleton. Yes, they are. Did you know that all the games might just be the kids' streams? Yeah, I read that. That was from what's his name? Wasn't it one of his theories? But he was saying, he was going on. It's all a dream. Everything's a dream. And then because he was saying about the at the end, there's the clock, isn't there? The alarm and the chair, the kids' chair thing. So yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Scott Cawthon's original idea. And then he just kind of didn't go with that. But then, just because I've worked in game development before, and I think everyone seems to think that Scott Cawthon had this master plan, whereby he was planning it all out, but he didn't know how successful FNAF was going to be. So when he did that first game, he was probably just literally just getting like sound clips from things, and he probably just thought, I'll do an alarm thing, and he probably did it for the second one as well. And then it got more and more successful, and then people started making up the lore, and he started then playing along with it, thinking, "Oh yeah, I'll do this," and start adding more stuff. But I don't think it was all meant to be a dream. Maybe he did think that at some point, think, "Oh, maybe I could make it a dream." But as everyone sort of says, that would be really disappointing if that is true. But yeah, my theory about Nightmare Freddy is that he probably takes your dignity, says Detrax. Yeah, game theory. Yeah. Did you know they all take your dignity? I wouldn't be surprised. So anyway, yeah. I hope it's not all a dream, because that would be really bad if that's the route they're going to take with it. But anyway, we're going to go our own. I mean, that's the other thing with coming up with a script, is you're never going to be able to please everyone. So the aim really is just as long as you can please someone, even if it's just yourself. In some ways, then you've kind of done your job. And the one thing we didn't want to do actually when we did the original movie was do something that really annoyed everyone, which I think we kind of achieved. I don't think there's some bits that people just don't like, but that's fair enough. I think overall people did seem to like it. So if we can do the same with the second movie, then we've done our job again, hopefully. But this one definitely has some more challenges, more so than the first one, because with the first one we had the luxury of the fact that there's one character, one location, not so much complex script details with the whole lore of the Freddy scene. In fact, it kind of helped the fact that we didn't know anything really about Freddy's other than what we played in the game. But of course, once you delve, as you know, deeper into it, it becomes more and more like, oh, there's so much to this. Although I don't know, I honestly don't think it's as complicated as what people think it is. I think what's happened is everyone's made their own theories to it, so it's become so convoluted. Whereas if you read the books and you actually sort of see what, and I know they're different sort of universes and all that, but you look at the way Scott Cawthon writes, his stuff is actually quite simple. Like, his actual ideas aren't that complicated. And I think, really, if you look at back at the minigames, I think a lot of it people kind of interpreted in the wrong way, and they sort of come to different conclusions that are actually more complicated than what they need to be. Because actually one of them, classic one I think, is the crying children when Springtrap gets killed. And there's this. The trouble is, I'm going to be giving away the books a bit, so I hope you don't mind too much. And if you do, just mute me at the moment. But basically, Springtrap gets killed, and in the mini games, as I'm sure most people know, and there's the four children or 5 children. Well, there's the crying child, and there's the 4 children I think around him when he gets killed, and like a pool of blood comes out in the mini games. And then everyone's going, oh, it's a different universe, it's not right, because in the book, in the first book, in Silver Eyes, he gets killed, and but the teenagers there, the Charlie and all of her sort of like mates are there, so they're all sort of like saying, well, it's not the same, it's a different universe, because he clearly gets killed by the children. But if you think about it, and this is just my theory, so I could be wrong, but they could be those children, right? Because they were there at the incident that happened with this Michael. So just, who's to say in the minigame he just didn't represent them as children, but actually they're adults, like, but they were the children, so he represents them still as children in that minigame. So it's just a kind of a version of how he sort of perceives them at that time. But it is just the adults there, as what are the teenagers. Of course, I could be wrong, and only Scott would know that. So yeah, he's got. It's only when you start modelling this stuff you realise how much detail you've got to add. You sort of think, oh, there's only a few like dents and sort of bits where he's had like tears in his metal, but there's actually loads that I've got to add here. He's got another one on that side. In fact, there's hardly anything of him left. Where's my... There it is. Another one here. So what we'll do is we'll finish off his head. We'll get as much of it as we can done. But we're kind of there. We'll add his ears in, and we'll make him look more like Freddy rather than just... Well, he looks more like Bonnie at the moment because he hasn't got his rounded ears. And then that shape. Okay. Made that a bit wide actually. Maybe I can make that a little bit smaller if I can. Yep. There we go. Just so it's not quite the same as the one on the left, as in this massive scratch and gash there. I want to make it a little bit thinner shaped, so that's better. Maybe it was Foxy that attacked him. That's what it looks like. Mind you, Foxy's really battered up as well. Okay. So one can only assume, because on the reference I can't see his other side on here, but one can only assume that he's also got a load of holes in this side as well. Let's do one big one on that. That'll do. Okay, there we go. So I've got a bit silent and I'm trying to think of other sort of bits and pieces I can talk about. can't think of anything at the moment. But what we'll do is we'll finish off with his ears, and then we'll call it a day for now, because we're kind of there with what we need in terms of all the sort of like bashed up parts of him. So let's just see where's his ears. There's his ears there. So actually, he's only got half of it here on this one. So what I'll do is actually let's split them down. So now I've got set there in separate files basically. I've got this one, oh, and I've got that one. So on this one, I should be able to. There's a tool, if I can remember how to use it, where you can actually, I think it's called. Let's have a look. Sorry, you have to bear with me because I haven't used it for ages. I can't remember what it's called. Slice, that's it. And you should be able to now just slice away his ear, I think. Okay, and then I think you can just, yeah, so I can do that. And then I can delete what's not showing, so the up top part of his ear I can now delete, which is under here. Delete hidden. And then I should be able to just go like that, and there we go, we've got half an ear. And let's tatty it up a little bit by just chipping away at it with this brush tool here. You can just sort of go in and make it all a little bit more dented, as if it's been half eaten by something. What would want to eat Freddy's ear? I don't know. Can't taste very nice. There you go, that was easy enough. So that's that one ear. Half an ear. And then we want to do this one, which has just basically got a hole in it, and it's just a little bit tatty. But it's mainly just a whole ear, but just a little bit damaged. So on this one, what I'll do is I'll use the tool that I was using before, but I'll use the circle one, which is, there's another one here, a cylinder one here. So I can just drag out a cylinder, check it's going all the way through the ear, which it's not at the moment. So if I just drag that through a bit more, there you go, now that's all the way through the ear. And then if I go like that, hopefully, in theory, yeah, it makes a hole in it. There you go. It's like a really big earring hole in the wrong place. And let's just make it a little bit more tattier again. And back as well. What I might do as well is if I get, I mean I'm on holiday for the next week, so I'm not going to have time to work on this until I get back, but what I might do is, if it's not on a live stream, if I sort of complete it without, when I'm not on a live stream, I will do, like we did with the Wreck-It Ralph one, I will do a time-lapse sped up one that's a lot shorter, so that guys and girls that aren't on the live stream can watch it without having to sort of sit here for an hour. We'll hopefully go into a bit more detail with some of the other stuff as well. But it'd be interesting to know actually if you guys want to sort of see the whole process from not just the sculpting but the rigging and things like that. You know, what your thoughts on this? Just make that a little bit more tatty there. See, this is why I'm in the reference here. His ears aren't really like this. So I'm just sort of making stuff up as I go, just making it a little bit more interesting with his how. We'll do one more on the back of his head. One more hole. quite hungry now and eating it. So as you can see, there's a lot more to do because I've got to do all of his body and all of those bits and pieces as well. But I won't bore you with that because it is pretty much what I've been doing. It's the same kind of process. Be interesting to see. I mean, because at the moment he still looks like Freddy because he's got the big box teeth rather than the jagged metal ones. But I will add them. I probably won't add them in this package. Actually, I'll use the other package I use because it's sort of easier to make these more cylindrical shapes in that package rather than in ZBrush is really good for sculpting. But when you're trying to make sort of really nice, symmetrical, unified things, it's actually easier in other packages. That's not to say you can't do it in ZBrush because you can. There's a lot of new tools actually that I don't. Thing is, even though I use this every Friday, I always use it for sculpting. But there's loads of new tools in ZBrush that they introduce for more of the sort of like traditional modelling, where you can like make. It sounds so silly, but just making boxes and stuff in ZBrush or ZBrush as it's called in America is actually quite difficult. Whereas you want to sculpt a really high detailed character, it's really easy, which is actually really difficult to do in other packages. So each package has got its kind of strengths and weaknesses. Okay, I'm gonna leave there because we've been an hour now. I can't believe it's been an hour. So I'm gonna switch back to you guys. I suddenly had this fear that I had left it off the thingy, but luckily I didn't. You can all see that. So let's switch to me, and let's switch to you so I can see what you're saying. The house is a testing facility. Thomas Freet says, is that which one though? Is that Henry's house or William's house? I'm afraid I have a theory here. I don't think William's got any children. I don't think he's got any at all. I think all the children you see are kidnapped children. FNAF 4 is Fredbear's. FNAF 3 is the last in the series. Yeah. FNAF 4 is... I don't know if it is Fredbear's though, FNAF 4. Because they move in the book. I can't remember if they're in 1995, which is only 2 years afterwards, and I can't remember. It must have been quite established already there. So, yeah, I don't know. Peter, I went to FNAF 4 and checked Nightmare Freddy. He has no eyebrows. No, yes, so it's still based on. I can remove them. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't got any. But I'm just working on his head at the moment. Just adding all of the dents and the scratches at the moment. So yeah, he's not going to look exactly like Nightmare Freddy at the moment because it literally is just the beginning. And like I said, this takes days to do, and I'm not going to bore you all just by going through everything. But yeah, he will have his eyebrows removed. He'll have the bigger teeth. He'll have all the sort of dents and stuff in his body as well. Yeah, so didn't you know that sister location actually underneath Five Nights at Freddy's 4? Well, we don't know exactly where it is. The theory is that it's under the house, next to the house. Well, considering the books are in a different universe, I don't think they're in a different universe, Thomas. I think that's what people say. They're in the same universe. They're just slightly different in certain ways because, like Scott Cawthon says, he can't write a story and stick so rigidly to what the minigames are doing, because I honestly think the minigames were just kind of made up on as he went along, and then there's bits that he's realised he can't kind of tie together. So I don't think they're not in the same universe. I just think there's just certain things that aren't quite the same. TDR. Sorry, no, I am reading your comments. You haven't got banned. I just haven't. I've only just started reading comments again because I've just finished the sculpt that we're working on at the moment. Yeah, FNAF 4 1983 sister location. Well, they reckon about 1983 as well. That's the other thing with the FNAF series is what I find weird is that with the stuff in sister location, those animatronics are so advanced compared to even like the 1993 FNAF 1 stuff. And it's like, well, how was that like 10 years before? It's just like, it doesn't really add up. Enderman Boy, hello, how you doing? Did I miss anything? Scottish Keep Late Plays. You did well. Yeah, I'm just finishing off actually, mate. I just quickly switched back over. Hang on, I'll just show you what I was doing. So all I was doing was we were just not that one. Sorry, that one. We were just converting old Freddy from the original movie into Nightmare Freddy. So as someone rightly put, his eyebrows shouldn't be there, which I can quite easily fix at the moment. I think if I just go and take his jaw away. There you go. No eyebrows. He looks a little bit more like Nightmare Freddy now. But as I mentioned earlier, he's also got big boxy teeth as well at the moment, which obviously Nightmare Freddy doesn't have. So yeah, he's not there yet, but we're getting there. Takes time, this stuff. Can't be rushed. The FNAF 1 animatronics was a lower budget than the sister location animatronics. Yeah, but then I still think, like, it's weird because in 1983 you didn't have that technology. Even now we don't really have that technology. So how was that stuff so advanced? Like, and why wasn't anyone using it then? Like, NASA and stuff didn't have stuff as advanced as that. So it just doesn't make sense. And that's why I'm not sure if Scott Cawthon has just been clever and that actually sister location is in the future, or Scott Cawthon just didn't think it through and it doesn't really make sense. Cheers, Derek. Yeah, he's funky at the moment for sure. No problem, mate. No problem. Derek, everyone's got things to do, so I mean, I'm just so busy at the moment. I don't get to see anyone else's stuff at the moment. Check the dates that don't match up, says Thomas Ray. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can keep looking at all this stuff. I think you just got to go with kind of what you feel is right. Middle of a YouTube video now, so this is going on YouTube. The Rifle Junior Brody. Did Stuart die in the movie? Says Sam Comics. Well, that's a very good question, and you'll have to find out in the next movie if he died. Middle of the YouTube. Oh no, I've read that one. I don't know, but real animatronics back then had to be built onto the floor. I'm not sure what you mean, Warrior. Do you mean like bolted down? Or can I react to the movie? Yes, Sam in Comics, you can react to the movie and send us a link as well. Why did you guys think they made their faces open? They did. Oh, I don't know who said that, but they do in Sister Location. They will open up, don't they? Bonnie Vlogs to scare you. Yeah, probably. Okay, so has anyone got any burning questions? Because I am going to have to go fairly shortly. In in about 5 minutes, if that. So, yeah, any burning questions? Otherwise, we will part our ways, and we will see you actually. Won't be doing anything live for a week because Stuart and I are away. Derek says the fans created the lore. I think that Scott just wanted to make games and left everyone else to fill in the blanks and eventually just went with it. I agree, Derek. Especially if you read the books, there's a lot of stuff in there where you just think, really? Did you think of that, or did you just go, oh, actually that was quite a good idea from someone that made that up? Yes, what is the fairy ball in the sky? Yeah, what is the fairy ball in the sky? I don't know what the fairy ball in the sky is. Are you talking about the sun? Do you like Freddy or Bonnie? It's Kobe Killer. I prefer Bonnie. Peter, I'm back. Can I have a mod today? Well, I'm about to go actually. Great Combat 5, and you because we didn't do a mod today, unfortunately. But I think Warrior's the mod. But we'll keep you in mind for next one. Why did Enna get destroyed? Burning question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Was he rejected by Michael? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense, does it? Scott said the books aren't even related to the games. No, he didn't. No, definitely related to the games. Well, from all the stuff I've read, he never said they weren't related. He said that they weren't. I can't remember his exact words, but basically he said that he couldn't get them to completely match. Basically, so there are bits that you will see in both universes, but they are related. They're totally related. And if you read the books, they are totally related. But where is the what now? It's weird. It appears when the sky turns blue. Derek, you alright? I don't know what you're talking about now. Sam's comments, you can have a shout out. Not now. Here you go. Hey Sam, how you doing? You can also have a shout out if you put it in the gallery. Just put it in the comments so you can have a shout out in our video that says the gallery. Well, you can all be mods at some point, I think, but not for today because I'm wrapping up. Yeah, don't know. Were you going to make Nightmare? Says MCD play. Well, we just have been making MC. I don't know if you've only just joined us. I'll show you one more time. He's Freddy still at the moment. He was originally from the movie. He was Freddy, so we've just been mashing up his face to the point where he's starting to look a bit more nightmarish. But he obviously hasn't got the teeth, hasn't got the bottom jaw properly yet, and his whole body needs to be done. But his ears and his front of his face is kind of getting there. It's nearly there. So that's where we're at with it. But yeah, we have been on an hour, so you missed that part. Oh, it would make more sense if you heard my voice. Okay, there we go. The Odd Husky game, the Odd Husky, yes, you can have a shout, but put it in the gallery, our last gallery video, look for that, and in the comments say can I have a shout out. Yes, TDO, yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, have a good weekend. See you later. Yes, there will be more actors, Sam, in the next film. Thanks, MC Duplays. I'm glad you like it so far. Can you do this? I don't know what Bonnie vlogs. Can you do that? Can you do this? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. So cool. I like the Bonnie and Foxy. Please, Freddy or Foxy. Okay, guys, I think everyone's sort of kind of chatting to themselves now. So I've got to go because I've got to meet up with someone in like an hour, and I don't know if I'm going to miss the bus. Hopefully not. So I will say my goodbyes. Have a lovely weekend. Next week I'm going to try and patch some stuff together for you, like the making of the golden Freddy head, and just kind of maybe a few little bits and pieces. But there's not going to be no live stream stuff, unfortunately, because we're both away on holiday, Stuart and I. So we will miss you. But we will definitely see you for the next live stream, which will probably be in not next Wednesday, but Wednesday after. Until then, like I say, have a great weekend, and I will see you that Wednesday. Bye bye.